Welcome to the Trust Factor Radio, bringing you interviews and insights to unlock the power of the subconscious mind to create authority, credibility, and trust. With your host, the Authority Architect and best-selling author, Neil Howe.
Hello and welcome to the show. This is your host, Neil Howe, and today's guest is Erin Ward with WSI Digital Solutions Group. And she helps companies inspire, engage, and connect with their target audiences. Search engine optimization, pay-per-click, social media are the main platforms that they use to help companies market through, but it's the type of content, the what, that they share that truly helps businesses create an audience that is obsessed with the brand. Looking forward to hearing all about that. Welcome to the show, Erin Ward.
Thank you so much for having me, Neil. I'm excited to be here.
Well, tell us a little bit more about yourself, Erin, and WSI Digital Solutions Group and how you got started in this business.
So I have been an agency owner with WSI for just over a year and a half. So we're fortunate enough to be part of a network of over 1,500 different offices in about 80 countries. I'm fortunate enough to be able to operate the Central Florida office for WSI, which is just a fantastic brand to work with. They are about 20 years old, so we have a lot of experience in the marketplace. I've been in the marketing and PR and social media industry since about 2009, and I've seen, the evolution of what social media was. When it first started, it was obviously a very big connection platform, and it's evolved into this actual marketing platform that we use today and use it as a lead generation tool and brand awareness tool for businesses. So I'm fortunate enough to have the experience of a 20-year-old business, as well as my own personal experience, to help me leverage businesses to get in front of their target audience in a really, really unique way.
I'm sure you have all the systems down over that time. You really see what works and what hasn't worked. So tell me, what kind of clients is it that you usually help? Is it the local small business, or do you deal mainly with bigger businesses?
So we believe that we have two specific buyer personas, and how we approach them is very unique to their company. I am a firm believer that no business fits into a box. So when we approach a company, we go in knowing that we're going to create custom solutions for them. So in the smaller company, they're making about $750,000 a year in gross revenue, maybe 1 to 2 employees. He might have an assistant, but he's trying to grow his business and he has no idea how to do marketing. We can certainly go in there and do start to finish campaign design. So that's looking at his product and service, maybe seeing if there's an outlying service that we can help market. That's a really good tripwire for him. And then putting the systems in place for him to achieve what his overall goals are. Then there's the second kind of persona that we help, and that's larger style businesses that have like a marketing manager already on site that just need the digital execution. So they already have the campaign. They don't need product launch. They don't need any new ingenuity to their branding. They just need someone to be able to execute it online. So if you think about those two buyer personas, there's some that are specific that within there. So landscapers, gyms, personal trainers, those are more of those smaller businesses that we help with creating those full campaigns. But then you go to things like tech companies, bookkeeping companies, where they're a little bit more robust. They just need help on the digital side.
So for these smaller companies that might not have the time to do the kind of marketing that they need to for themselves, how do you start them out? Do you start out with consultation and work through a strategy?
Yeah, so we always start with a consultation to kind of figure out what your goals are. We firmly believe that digital marketing, there's 3 strategies you need to know, or 3 strategies that we have in place. So you either want lead generation, you want brand awareness, or you want both. So depending on where you are in your cycle, depending on what your immediate needs are, we will create plans based on your budget and what your overall goals are to fit and make sure that you're getting exactly what you can get out of digital marketing.
So as far as lead generation and brand awareness go, what are the benefit of each one of those pillars?
Well, obviously lead generation we want to create a 24/7 sales representative for your company. So we want to have your ads and your brand be in front of your target audience 24 hours a day. Obviously, we'll notice over time if your business isn't, people aren't looking for your business on a Saturday at 8 in the morning. But to start, we really want to make sure that we're getting as much opportunity to be seen by people as possible. So it's really about timing and about making sure you're giving an enticing offer to get people, to attract them to your brand, to jump into whatever that would be. For brand awareness, it's all about getting the brand out there. Obviously, getting brand awareness is more about educating your audience and what's important rather than trying to sell them on something specific. So brand awareness is really about educating rather than directly selling to your target audience.
And as far as the lead generation, do you get them started on a pay-per-click campaign to get leads coming in right away? And what's after that?
Yeah, that's typically the first thing we would do. We would look at kind of what platform we find would be best for them to do that paid advertising. Obviously, advertising and marketing are two very different things. I think advertising is direct business. You're getting leads. You need to get it in there now, where marketing is more of kind of an expense. It's more about just creating that buzz and awareness around there. You're not going to see that immediate return on investment, but you will over a longer period of time. So we typically use paid advertising strategies, mostly on AdWords, display advertising, retargeting, and social media advertising.
And as far as the long-term strategy, do you integrate the SEO and social media?
That's correct. Yes. So while some people think that the social media should just be an extension of the SEO, I still believe that social media should be kind of its own entity that works alongside with your SEO campaigns. So just sharing a blog that you've written on your Facebook or on your blog or on your website and then sharing it to social media and you considering that social media marketing, I don't believe that that's multi-dimensional enough to achieve what you need to. So when we create these campaigns and we look at what the overall goals are, and if the overall goal is brand awareness, we want to make sure we're creating, again, social media is that platform where we can create an obsessed marketplace with your brand. And we want to direct them to the website as much as possible, but we want to do that in unique ways, not just by sharing blogs directly to the website.
Now, from a social media perspective, if, say, we have a chiropractor client that is trying to get awareness to their brand, what kinds of outputs do you recommend to them as far as posting each day on all the different networks, and what kind of message goes out?
Yeah, so it's all about your unique value proposition. So if you haven't created that within your brand, that's the first step I would recommend. So let's say you are a chiropractor that specializes in the weekend warrior athletes. Okay, so that's your thing. You work with everybody that does Warrior Dash and Color Run. Do more social listening, listen to what that audience is saying, and kind of adapt that personality into your branding. You want to speak the same language with that target audience so that they understand exactly what you're doing. Let's say you're a gentle chiropractor that uses an activator. You don't do any manual chiropractic activities. That's a huge thing. Some people have a fear of chiropractic. So market the fact that you're gentle, that you can come in, that it's a very zen environment, that we're not going to do anything that makes you uncomfortable, that we're here to help you, more of a holistic approach rather than maybe a perceived harsher approach with the weekend warrior. So it's all about creating content around that core messaging or your unique value proposition. I'm a firm believer in live video. Live video is the biggest thing that's out there right now, and it's such a great tool for companies to use because it's a great way for you to interface with your audience. I also believe that social graphics and quotographics, sharing testimonials that you've had, are huge parts of that. You just have to reaffirm to your audience that you're the expert in your field, and you can do that through some really cool visual ways like video and graphic.
Yeah, I agree. Live video is definitely a great way to get attention right away. But you as a social media agency or doing this kind of work for your clients, you've really got to know who your client is and all about their audience? Now, does that take some time to get to know?
It really depends. So some people, obviously the larger size companies kind of have those target personas figured out. I'm a firm believer that digital marketing is very, very organic, and it continues to grow and it continues to evolve. So I always tell my clients that maybe don't have that target persona side figured out. Let's do some testing. Let's use this as a science experiment. Let's test some different markets, run some different ads, and see what their responses are, and then evolve our marketing campaign from that. A lot of times people have a little bit of an idea of what their market is, but there might be an untapped segment that we're not tapping into. For example, if you're a car dealership and let's say you're selling Nissans and you're only trying to sell the Altimas and the Maximas, well, that's probably, 25 to 35, younger professional, doesn't have kids yet. But think about the Nissan Rogue. It's an awesome mother vehicle. It's high safety ratings. Okay, maybe we should create a campaign specific for the Nissan Rogue to target moms and see what the response is. Because we've done this a little bit. Maybe we're maxed out on the brand awareness from the younger population. Let's try a different market and see what the response is there. So I always tell people that, a scientist doesn't have the cure for cancer after one experiment, after one test. You have to be able to let this be organic and let the results speak for themselves.
And I'm sure the live video would work very well in the car industry as well. You really have a demonstrable product to share.
Absolutely. And, there's a perception with car dealerships that they're maybe a little bit, I hate to use this word, but slimy. So live video and social media being the conduit for interaction with your sales team is such a great platform to kind of ease that gap and show people that car salesmen are just like you. They're normal people. They're not going to sell you on a product that they don't believe in. And that's going to help increase your brand awareness and overall lead generation for your company.
All right, Erin, let's talk about the SEO strategy for a minute. What are the expectations for setting up an SEO campaign?
Yeah, well, I think of SEO as a house. You have to get the foundation first, and that's obviously doing really in-depth keyword research, looking for what we call keyword gaps in the marketplace that you can achieve high levels of success, but you don't have a lot of competition. That's really, really important for us because that's going to tell us what our target audience is asking or what they're looking for. From there, we can build up the walls and decorate the interior. Our perception of SEO, and it's because Google changes their algorithm every 1.5 days typically. They add a new indicator or they update a new indicator to change that algorithm. We firmly believe that we will do anything it takes to get you where you need to be. We add a performance guarantee in our SEO campaigns, which provides a minimum benchmark for every 30 days. And if we don't achieve that benchmark, you don't pay us. So we just want to make people's minds at ease that, hey, listen, we're going to do everything we can to get you where you need to be. And if we don't, you don't have to pay us. And I think that that's just a really cool, it's our unique value proposition. Not many agencies around the US offer that performance guarantee, so we can stand out because we can provide that.
Well, that's definitely something that's going to attract a lot of people to you, and make sure that you are doing everything that you can to get them the results. So how do you get the results with SEO? What exactly are the best practices that you follow?
Well, obviously, you want to do a lot of the on-page optimization. So adding keywords to your content, creating meta descriptions, meta titles, doing all of the metadata that's important. That's all the stuff that you see in the search engine. So the gray text and the blue text. You want to make sure that that's all optimized. But it's all really right now about syndication. So getting your site located on places that have high domain authority, in my opinion. So I think backlinking is one of the biggest things right now in social media or in SEO. It's really important to get on high domain authority sites. And when we look at that on a scale of 1 to 40, we want to get you on sites with domain authority of 15 plus. So BuzzFeed probably has about a 25 domain authority. Forbes.com might be around that 30, 35 mark. So we want to make sure that we're getting your brand out there to relevant backlink sites to generate more traffic to your website. And from there, your house is all settled up. You have a nice looking website. The SEO meta descriptions and all that stuff is tied up. So when people come to your site, they know exactly what to expect and they can find the information they're looking for.
And once you have all that basic SEO set up and all the on-page stuff done and you're working on the link building, how is it that people are getting on the map? Because that seems to be, especially for local businesses where a map result search will show up. How do you get positioned on the map to get, the best results? Because I think a lot of calls come from the maps, and that's ultimately what the local businesses are looking for.
Well, you have to do what Google wants you to, and that's get a lot of reviews, set up your local directory listings, especially if you have a brick and mortar store. So some service-based companies kind of work out of their home. But if you have a brick and mortar location, getting those directory listings as much as possible and submitting your Google My Business will certainly help you get there. Driving reviews and making sure that you're updating your Google My Business with new pictures, updated information. If it's a holiday, updating your hours. Google just wants to know that you're being active on that profile. And then they also want to get validation from the third-party sites, because Google is not they don't create their own data. They are a distributor of data from other people. So they take information, they consolidate information from all these different websites out in the marketplace, consolidate it into their platform, and from there they dish out the links and all that kind of stuff. So you just want to make sure that you're listed on the directories that Google wants you to be listed on, and you're doing things within Google's own product to ensure that you're being seen within that 3-pack.
Yeah, it really seems like it's almost another website where you have to continually get reviews, and now you're able to post and add products and things as well.
And have the messaging
have you
function,
seen
which I think is awesome.
Right. Have you seen those kind of things help with rankings, the people who are more active on the Google My Business pages?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, anytime that you can use Google's product, even though Google Plus is, who knows what it's still doing there, but it's their product, they want you to use it. So the more you can appease the quote unquote gods of Google, the better off you'll be in search engine ranking.
So let's talk about the actual page, your business page that people are landing on once they've done that search, and they're looking to find somebody to do business with. What's important to have on the actual business page that is going to say, I trust this company, I want to do business with them? What kind of factors should people be putting on their page there?
I think reviews are the biggest thing right now. People look at 5 reviews. People consider 5 reviews like a personal referral. So if you don't have reviews up there, if you're not having an active reputation management program, I think that you're losing opportunity there. You definitely want to have pictures. If you have a brick and mortar location, let's say you have a restaurant, you should have pictures of the food, definitely have your menu there. Make sure you have your pin drop set up correctly so people can get directions. All of that information is really important for that.
And how about video? You said video is extremely important. Should you have video on your website to engage people when they land there?
Yeah, and I think it really depends too on kind of what you're looking to achieve. So I don't necessarily believe SEO is a great lead generation tool. I think it's a great education tool. So if you're having somebody land on a blog post about the 14 reasons why you shouldn't get a free GoDaddy website, definitely have a video that supports that and maybe a blog with it. If you're on the homepage and let's say you provide a product that might have a negative perception, or you need to get info out really concise, let's say you buy homes for cash, having a video at the top of that explaining the process is really, really valuable. You just have to make sure that you're answering the questions that your target audience is asking in a way that's going to engage them. Sometimes it's video, sometimes it's blog posts, sometimes it's just having your about me on that page. So you have to really consider what your target audience would want to know about your brand before you kind of revisit all of that stuff on your site and say, okay, well, I'm only going to do video blogs. You want to make sure you're attracting a wider net for that target audience to make sure that you're getting as many people to your site as possible.
So, Erin, what are some of the myths or misconceptions maybe about working with a digital marketing agency?
Well, there's a lot of them, unfortunately. I think that people have been burned in the past by these people that kind of just take one course on Udemy that's $11.99 and then are able to do Facebook ads or SEO. There's a lot of negative feedback, and there's a barrier of entry for us, I think, to getting to people like that. They've done it in the past, it didn't work for them, but they didn't do the right strategy, so that has a negative impact on us. So it takes me about 4 months to kind of help put people's minds at ease if they had worked with an SEO or social media or PPC company in the past that they just weren't happy with the results. Do your research on companies. I mean, even if you don't use me, or you shop your SEO and shop those marketing services, and you will learn very quickly who the experts are in the marketplace and who are kind of the newer people. Now, I'm not saying don't give business to those newer people, but they're also understand that you might not get what you pay out of it, or you might not get the level of performance that you're expecting. I see them all the time on my Facebook feed, these people that are kind of selling the pipe dream of do this one thing on Instagram and you're going to get 10,000 followers overnight. And the fact of the matter is, all of these platforms change their algorithm so much that what may have worked for one person yesterday might not work for you today. And consider the location implications. I market to Orlando differently than I market to my home base in Merritt Island, two very, very different marketplaces. And if you try to do the same thing in Pittsburgh and LA, your responses are going to be completely different. So there's no plug and play methodology to digital marketing. And I think sometimes that's the perception, even with digital marketing consultants. They think, okay, well, if we just do this set of deliverables, we're going to achieve our goals, when in reality, each marketplace is different and each target market responds to different content.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of those target markets and the fact that, Orlando is a market that has so many people just coming in as, tourists, is there a specific way that works for tourists that might just be here for a week and they're looking for specific things that wouldn't work in another town? Oh,
absolutely. So Orlando is a very unique place, and if you don't understand how it operates, you cannot run a successful business here. It's a very transient town. So when we consider things like professional sports, we have tried 4, 5, 6 different types of professional sports here in Orlando, and only 2 have stuck. So we have the Orlando Magic and Orlando City. So you have to be able to understand the marketplace for that. There are some really great opportunities for businesses to market through like the Convention and Visitors Bureau. But if you're a local business, there's actually enough local business to sustain itself. So there are some people that have really cracked into that Convention and Visitors Bureau market because they've had the relationships with the CVB for over 30 years. But a lot of those are larger style companies. They're, big corporations, they're franchises, not necessarily my target market. I'm looking for the larger style companies that are based out of Orlando. One of the things that's up and coming in our marketplace is technology. So we obviously have influence from Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, these big military contractors who are constantly doing research. And as a result of that, there are a lot of tailspin technology companies that are coming off of those. They've worked for Lockheed for a year, and they create this awesome product, and they want to put it in the marketplace. So that's really where we see the economy growing, is actually businesses that are based out of Orlando and trying to market across the U.S. rather than just convention-based businesses.
But I guess it's all about knowing who your target market is, and you have to sit down and have that strategy session before anybody makes a decision. Now,
Yeah,
if there's
absolutely.
somebody that really is looking for a digital marketing agency, but are just kind of struggling to make that commitment, what are some of the reasons that might stop them saying, okay, it's time to, get somebody professional to do this for me?
Sorry, ask that question one more time.
What are some of the reasons that somebody might not take the step to hire a digital marketing company like WSI Digital to do the business for them?
First is that they don't know that they need it. That's a big one.
Mm.
Some people are like, well, I do this kind of on my own and I'm getting a little bit of leads here and there, but they don't know that with somebody that's professional and with a really good, robust marketing campaign, they can skyrocket their results. The other is that they don't think that they have the budget to do it. Listen, we are not a company that sits there and says, well, we're going to charge you 10 grand a month for SEO. That's why we put that performance guarantee. Our SEO is very, very lean because we don't backfill our product with unnecessary deliverables. So if Google doesn't think that we should have a PowerPoint presentation syndicated on LinkedIn's SlideShare, we're not going to do that, and that's going to save our end consumer cost. We also have some like set it and forget it solutions where, hey, it's going to help keep your costs down. We're going to just post the social media for you. We'll refine the strategy over time, but you're not going to see the post beforehand. We have 20 years of experience. We know kind of what the messaging would be based on your target audience. So we have solutions that really fit every price range of budget, which I think is beneficial. And again, we try to keep our solutions as lean as possible because we do want to cater to smaller sized businesses.
So, Erin, based on your 20 years of experience in this industry, what did you learn early on dealing with clients and customers that still impacts how you do business today?
I think that people sometimes perceive that digital marketing exists in a vacuum, and I don't believe that. I still think that traditional marketing, I think that going to networking events, I think that flyering, having brochures are all part of a really concise brand, and I think that that's really important. Digital marketing doesn't exist if you don't want to do the work on the side as well. You have to be able to leverage that. Essentially, what we want to do is we want to free up your time so you can go to more networking events so you don't have to worry about digital marketing, or you can go on a call and not have to worry about digital marketing, and you're interfacing with your clientele, and as a result, they're going to refer you more business. So that's a big one for me. I am not a hater on those traditional marketing strategies at all. I think they're all super beneficial and work well together. And over that 20 years, I mean, we've kind of seen it all. One thing that I would say is that if you are reactive to changes in platforms, you're not going to be successful. Share quality content consistently and you will see results. That is one thing that is a standard that will always be the way things work. Share quality content on a consistent basis and you're going to see results. If you try to be reactive, it's not going to work. You have to just keep a plan together, write out some of the storms. Yes, we even saw a Google algorithmic change at the start of May. I had some drop in my clients' SEO keywords for Orlando specific keywords. And after that algorithm, we made the change, and June skyrocketed back up. So just write it out. Don't make quick knee-jerk reactions to big changes, and you will be successful.
But you've got to stick with it as well.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Consistency is 100% key.
All right, Erin. Well, this has been fantastic. Really got some great information out of you here. We're talking with Erin Ward with WSI Digital Solutions Group. Tell us what the best way for people to get in touch with you is if they want some help with their digital marketing solutions.
Yeah, best way to get a hold of me is phone number. I am married to my phone. I will answer your calls from 8 in the morning to 8 p.m. I'm your client. I'm a client interfacer, and I'm also a project manager. So you can always give me a call, and that phone number is 407-637-7059.
Excellent. Well, it's definitely better to know that you can get somebody by phone and you're talking with a real person instead of somebody hiding behind an email or something like that. So relationship is definitely extremely important in business. So Erin Ward, thank you very much for being my guest on the Trust Factor Radio today.
Thank you so much, Neil. It was awesome talking with you. Thank you for having me.
And to our listening audience, if you like what you hear, hit that like button and share, and we'll see you next time on the show.
You've been listening to the Trust Factor Radio with Neil Howe. To learn about the resources mentioned in the show and to listen to past episodes, go to thetrustfactorradio.com. To get a copy of the book, The Trust Factor, go to thetrustfactorbook.com. If you are ready to act now and build your authority, credibility, and trust, schedule a consultation with Neil at theauthorityarchitect.com.